Breaking news that's sending shockwaves through Europe's corridors of power. What Putin just said in Berlin isn't just another diplomatic statement, it's a game-changer that's making German officials sweat. For decades, Germany played it safe. Smile, nod, keep business flowing. But today, that mask has cracked. Putin's warning about the Taurus missiles isn't just tough talk. It's a cold, calculated message that's exposed Germany's greatest vulnerability. Here's what they're not telling you. Inside diplomatic circles, there's panic. Why? Because Russia's response won't be limited to strongly worded notes. We're talking about precision strikes on industrial targets. Those German factories producing Taurus missiles? They're already on a list. And it's not emotional. It's legal warfare. Moscow style. But here's the real bombshell. 60% of Germans are against this escalation. They know something their leaders won't admit. This isn't about missiles. It's about whether Germany remains a sovereign power or becomes just another puppet. The evidence is hiding in plain sight. Eastern Germany still remembers Russia isn't just another country to them. It's part of their DNA. And Putin just reminded them of something crucial. Without Moscow's blessing, German reunification would never have happened. That's the debt Berlin seems eager to forget. Think this is just about foreign policy? Think again. German industry is already wobbling. Investments fleeing, production's stalling, exports are dropping. And now their leaders are playing with fire. Here's what makes intelligence analysts lose sleep. Russia's prepared an asymmetric response. Not military, something worse. Energy, logistics, economics. The kind of pressure points that can bring a nation to its knees without firing a shot. But the most disturbing part? The Taurus system requires German personnel for operation. Every launch, every target needs German hands on the controls. There's no hiding behind proxies anymore. And Moscow's making it clear. That crosses a line there's no coming back from. Want to know what happens next? Stay tuned, because this isn't just about Germany anymore. It's about who really controls Europe's future. And the answer might shock you. Stay with us. The full analysis is coming up. Write in the comments. Is your country ready for what's coming? As tensions rise in Berlin, we're witnessing a profound shift in global power dynamics. The German government faces an unprecedented predicament that could redefine European security architecture. The Taurus controversy has exposed Germany's fragile political balancing act. With over 60% of Germans opposing direct escalation, the government faces pressure from both citizens and international partners. The legal implications are severe. When a German-made missile, controlled by German systems, crosses boundaries, Berlin becomes a direct participant. Every launch requires German infrastructure, protocols, and GPS coordination through Berlin-controlled channels. The stakes are high. Germany, a non-nuclear power under another's security umbrella, risks direct confrontation while losing autonomous decision-making. They'll bear responsibility for consequences they can't fully control. Moscow's stance is clear. Any German-controlled strike equals direct involvement. No diplomatic cushioning. The era of anonymous responsibility is ending dramatically. Berlin's political establishment faces a dilemma. They've played this game of partial involvement without consequences for years. But that field is narrowing. The illusion of maintaining distance while being deeply involved is crumbling. Every action has attribution now. Every strike carries a signature. Each decision comes with consequences paid not in declarations, but in real terms. Behind closed doors, German legal experts are reviewing international precedents from Yemen and Libya. In modern warfare, proving technological involvement follows digital trails. The next few weeks could determine whether Germany crosses a point of no return. As pressure mounts from multiple directions, one question becomes critical. Who's really pulling the strings in this high-stakes game of geopolitical chess? And just when you think you've grasped the full picture, an unexpected player enters the game. The political landscape in Germany reveals a deepening crisis of trust and direction. Recent polls show over 60% of Germans believe their country is heading down the wrong path, reflecting a growing disconnect between political elites and citizens. Berlin's leadership appears caught in a paradox. trying to maintain its image as Europe's voice of responsibility, while potentially becoming the trigger point for escalation. Friedrich Merz's positioning exemplifies this contradiction. Despite his decisive rhetoric, his push for expanded military support comes as Germany faces serious domestic challenges. The country's GDP declined 0.2% in Q1, while public trust in institutions has hit historic lows. Manufacturing firms are cutting jobs and moving to Asia. Even BASF is expanding in China where costs are lower. Yet Merz continues advocating for increased foreign military aid, disconnected from economic realities facing German citizens. The latest ZDF poll reveals 65% of Germans view their country's involvement in foreign conflicts as excessive. This isn't a fringe view. It's becoming mainstream sentiment. The gap between political decisions and public will grows wider, especially regarding weapons systems without parliamentary approval. This reflects a broader crisis of legitimacy. Traditional parties are losing support while alternative political forces gain ground. The public questions decisions made through semi-closed agreements rather than open debate. Each new aid package prompts questions. Who pays? Where's the line between political loyalty and citizens' interests? The situation around potential Taurus missile transfers crystallizes these tensions. It's about Germany's decision-making model and strategic autonomy. Moscow has indicated such transfers would cross a line, opening new legal and economic response options. Most concerning is how decisions seem divorced from citizens' daily reality. With recession, rising prices, and industrial decline, Germans increasingly feel their political class exists in a parallel universe, making choices that contradict national interests while hiding behind diplomatic rhetoric. What do you think about these developments in German politics? Leave your point of view in the comments. Today we're analyzing a significant shift in German politics under Friedrich Merz's leadership and the growing disconnect between political rhetoric and harsh reality. The numbers tell a sobering story. Over 60% of Germans believe their country is heading in the wrong direction. This isn't just statistics. It's a clear signal of deep public discontent. Merz positions himself as Europe's new security architect, but he's building on cracking foundations. While he makes bold statements about supporting the conflict zone with weapons, training, and credits, Germany's economy is struggling. The Federal Audit Office warns about budget deficits, GDP dropped 0.2% in Q1, and citizens are struggling with rising energy and housing costs. What's particularly concerning is how Merz seems detached from these domestic realities. He's busy promising support for the northern Black Sea region while German companies like BASF are moving production to China due to costs. About 65% of Germans now view their country's involvement in foreign conflicts as excessive or harmful, a trend that can't be ignored. Moscow's diplomatic tone has notably shifted in response. Gone are the days of formal diplomatic niceties. The new style is restrained but firm, without the usual diplomatic padding. When Russia's Security Council deputy chairman speaks about German specialists potentially operating systems in the disputed territory, it's not just diplomatic talk, it's a clear warning about institutional-level consequences. The crisis of legitimacy in German politics is deepening. Traditional parties are losing support while Alternative for Germany gains strength. Merz promises a new course but delivers déjà vu, using outdated political playbooks when the world has fundamentally changed. He's making commitments that Germany might not be able to fulfill, risking both economic stability and international reputation. This isn't just about foreign policy. It's about a deeper disconnection between political elites and public needs. While Merz talks about international obligations, Germans worry about heating bills, taxes, and wages. The old political formulas aren't working anymore, and fewer people believe their voice matters. What do you think about Germany's current political direction? Share your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective on this critical situation matters. In recent days, Moscow's diplomatic tone has shifted dramatically, particularly regarding German involvement in military logistics. The change isn't just in words, it's systemic. When high-ranking officials calmly state that decisions will be made at the supreme commander level, they're not threatening, they're outlining procedure. Germany's position deserves special attention. not because it's more important than others, but because there were expectations of prudence, historical awareness, and consequence assessment. The word responsibility carries extra weight here, not as criticism, but as an undeniable fact. Moscow's patience in sending diplomatic signals has been exhausted after years of being ignored. From energy to logistics, warnings were dismissed as ritual rhetoric. Now, as consequences materialize, accusations of Russian harshness fall flat. This isn't about hypotheticals anymore. When a country provides not just equipment but direct operational support, it crosses a line that's more than legal. It's institutional. Such involvement can't be dismissed as merely foreign policy. The abandonment of diplomatic ambiguity is telling. No more, if confirmed, we'll consider. Now it's, when confirmed, decisions will follow, at the presidential level. The public discussion of German specialists' involvement isn't panic. It's a precise boundary setting. Moscow isn't threatening or bargaining. It's stating facts without emotion. Berlin may have underestimated the severity of the situation or assumed it would remain controllable. This miscalculation reflects a common failure to recognize changing diplomatic tones. Today's Moscow communicates differently. More direct, more procedural, less compromising. The chain is simple. Signal, verification, response. No excessive noise. This institutionalization of response indicates the Kremlin's systematic approach. If lines are crossed, expect structural, not just rhetorical, consequences. Those abroad may not fully grasp this fundamental shift. Many still operate under old assumptions, expecting traditional diplomatic dance. But Moscow's patience has run out after too many ignored warnings and rejected compromises. What do you think about these changing dynamics in international relations? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Recent weeks show a dramatic shift in international relations. Moscow no longer considers internal German debates. Only actions matter now. Every gesture is scrutinized, every decision recorded. The era of diplomatic flexibility is over. German politicians seem stuck in outdated thinking, believing they can take aggressive steps while maintaining neutrality. But today's reality is different. Each move carries weight. Each signal is logged. Behind closed doors, it's clear that if Germany proceeds with missile transfers, Russia's response won't be limited to formal protests. We're seeing precision targeting rather than symmetric responses. This could mean contract suspensions, permit revocations, export redirections, or broader consequences diplomatically termed as reactions to actions. These aren't threats, but calculated strategy. A German-made missile isn't just military hardware anymore. It's a political statement too significant to ignore. Corporate initiative excuses won't work. If production happens on German soil with government approval, it's a state-level decision. Ironically, Germany spent decades building an image as a technological power avoiding military adventures. Now every industrial decision has diplomatic consequences. Private discussions suggest attention may extend beyond missiles to factories, research centers, and logistics companies. The exhaustion with inconsistency is evident. You can't be neutral and involved, technical and political simultaneously. Each missile represents a decision made with full awareness of consequences. The calculation will be precise, down to coordinates. Germany's moral capital, built through decades of reconciliation and measured diplomacy, seems set aside. The respected mediator is becoming merely an order taker, conveying others' agendas with a serious face. Public trust in political leadership is declining, especially in eastern regions where historical memory runs deeper. The financial burden grows while domestic businesses struggle. German industrial giants are already relocating to more stable jurisdictions. Not just an economic choice, but a political signal about fading confidence in German stability. What do you think about Germany's changing role on the world stage? Tell us your perspective in the comments. In recent days, we've witnessed a significant shift in German politics that deserves our closest attention. The question of supplying long-range Taurus missiles has become more than just a technical decision. It's now a defining moment in international relations. Moscow's position is crystal clear. Germany can't play two roles simultaneously. being both an arms supplier and a peace mediator. What's particularly striking is Berlin's apparent belief that they can maintain diplomatic ties while simultaneously opening weapons warehouses. This dual approach simply doesn't work in real politics. The Russian diplomatic corps has dropped all pretense. They're speaking plainly now. If Germany proceeds with the Taurus deliveries, it will mark a point of no return in bilateral relations. Inside Germany itself, public opinion shows growing skepticism. Over 60% of Germans oppose direct escalation through missile supplies. They're asking legitimate questions. Who will take responsibility for where these high-tech weapons end up? What guarantees exist that this won't lead to uncontrollable consequences? The economic context can't be ignored. Germany faces recession, rising prices, and industrial challenges. Yet their leadership seems determined to invest hundreds of millions of euros in a project that promises neither profit nor gratitude. This decision-making appears increasingly reactive rather than strategic. Russian diplomacy has been uncharacteristically direct. If Berlin chooses escalation, any role as a negotiator becomes impossible. It's not about revenge, it's simple logic. You can't sit at a negotiating table while simultaneously supplying weapons to one side. The situation reminds me of a Western diplomat's observation. Moscow always responds later than expected, but harder than anticipated. We're seeing this pattern unfold now, not with theatrical scandal, but with quiet, definitive action. What's particularly noteworthy is how Berlin still attempts to maintain the appearance of normal relations while signing new arms delivery contracts. This diplomatic double game isn't going unnoticed in Moscow, where patience for such approaches has clearly run out. Do you agree with what's happening? Tell us what you think. In recent days, we've witnessed a remarkable shift in German politics that deserves our closest attention. The decision regarding Taurus missiles has become more than just a military supply issue. It's a defining moment in European diplomacy. Moscow's position is crystal clear. Such actions will fundamentally alter bilateral relations. What's particularly striking is the German public's response. Over 60% of citizens oppose these missile transfers, showing a significant disconnect between government actions and public sentiment. This comes at a time when Germany's economy is already under strain, with budget cuts affecting healthcare and infrastructure. The financial implications are substantial. According to Die Welt newspaper, drone-related expenses alone will cost German taxpayers approximately 400 million euros. This occurs while small businesses struggle with energy costs and social benefits face revisions. What we're seeing is a methodical, emotionless calculation from Moscow's side. They're carefully documenting who takes which position, who attempts to remain neutral, and who actively participates in escalation. This isn't about emotions. It's diplomatic accounting at its most precise. Berlin's position seems increasingly contradictory. They claim to support de-escalation while simultaneously preparing technical assistance packages. This isn't just policy. It's a fundamental shift in Germany's international role, from mediator to active participant in the conflict zone. The speed of this transformation is remarkable. It took decades to build East-West partnerships after World War II. Yet these relationships are being dismantled in months. Trust, once broken, takes far longer to rebuild than to destroy. Most concerning is the lack of proper public debate or parliamentary analysis before making such consequential decisions. Everything happened amid general noise, as if it were merely a technical matter rather than a political watershed moment. The Kremlin's response has been unequivocal. Relations won't remain the same. This isn't just about missiles. It's about the fundamental principles of international trust and partnership. What do you think about the current event? Leave your answer in the comments.